story, and I'm super psyched to share with you 3 amazing tools to help you make decisions quickly and confidently. So if you are around, say hello and join me. So we all have probably experienced the agony of making difficult decisions. That might be whether to leave a career or change jobs or get out of a relationship or move across the country. So all of these decisions sometimes we wrestle with, and there doesn't always seem to be just this sense of what's the right decision. And sometimes we might make pros and cons lists. We might spiral into analysis paralysis. And what often happens is the more information we get, the more confused we get, and the less likely we are to make a decision, or the less likely we are to feel confident in making that decision. So I'm going to share with you 3 steps you can take anytime you're making a difficult decision so that you can start to use this anytime you feel that sense of having to wrestle with what is the right next step for you, and really start to feel a sense of confidence in that you have the ability to make the right decision for you, and trust whatever step that you take is exactly the right step for you. So this is what I would like you to do. So the first thing that happens often when we are in a place of feeling the anxiety of indecision is that we go right to our heads and we want to ask people what they think. We want to gather more information. Maybe we want to make a list of all the good things and all the bad things. And so when we are stuck in our heads, we often spiral into a worse place than we were before we even decided to go down that route. And so the first step is to let yourself get into your body. And there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can connect with your breath and do some breathing techniques. One of my favorite is the box breath, where you inhale for a count of 5, hold the breath in for a count of 5, exhale for a count of 5, and then hold the breath out for a count of 5. And repeat that 3 to 5 times so that you're starting to feel a sense of yourself in your body. Another great thing to do is to whistle, to start to bring some lightheartedness to the situation, because often with decisions, we make it so serious. We think it's going to be, change the course of our life depending on what decision we make. And so again, starting to get out of the head, and often the place in us that likes to catastrophize is to get into your body and just to whistle or to sing or to just lightly move your body. So again, you're moving the energy out of the stuckness of getting in your head and into your body, where you can start to use that energy to help you instead of block you. So that's the first step, is really start to tune in to where you are. And that could also mean, for those of you that connect with the 5 senses scavenger hunt, is just to look around and what do you see? What do you feel? What do you smell? What do you hear? So bring yourself into the present moment, which is the only moment we have control over anyway, and it's the perfect moment to use to make a decision. So then the second step is to start to engage your imagination. And then a very specific type of tool is to visualize, close your eyes and visualize what is one of the most positive memories you've had. And so you can think about what that situation was, to feel yourself in that situation again, and think about all the emotions. Again, you can think about what you saw, what you felt, what you heard, and really start to relive it. And then again, now that you're connected to your body, think about where in your body do you feel this sensation of that positive memory, of that positive experience. And then even think about what color is it and where in your body do you feel it? Is it in your core? Is it in your chest? Is it in your throat? And really start to see it magnifying and circulating within you. And hold on to that, because we're going to use this later. And then on the flip side, once you have engaged and really connected with that positive expression of what it looks like when you are really connected to something that's important to you and that you love and that you're in a place of joy, now connect to a situation and a memory of a difficult period in your life. And so again, what did it feel like? What were you experiencing? What were some of the sensations that you were feeling? What did you see? What did you hear? What were the stories that you were telling yourself in that situation? And again, connect in your body. Where is it in your body? So maybe it's in your gut, or maybe it's you start to feel the tension in your shoulders and neck. And then again, think about what color it might be and give it a color. So we're going to use these two experiences that you have had to help as your guiding post, as your tool to help you make the right decision for you. So then the third step is to bring up the decision you need to make, whether it's to leave a relationship, to commit even deeper to a relationship, to leave a job, to change careers, to move to another country, move to another city, sell your home, buy a home, whatever this decision is that feels like a more important decision than, for example, just our everyday decisions that sometimes can be difficult too, but we're talking more decisions that we give a lot of power to. And so come up with that decision, and now come into your body and move it to the place where you felt your positive emotion. So maybe that was in kind of the center of your body, maybe your heart center. And then ask yourself, does it feel aligned in that place in me? So if I make this decision, and you have to decide, if I make the decision to leave this relationship, to leave this job, to move to another city, to buy a home, whatever it is that you are trying to decide, ask yourself, does it feel aligned with that positive experience? Does it open me up? Does it make me feel expansion and energized, even though it might still feel a little bit nervous or a little bit scary because it's new? And let yourself sit in that for a moment to see, is there a connection there with that part of you, and do you feel like that's the right place for this decision? And now ask yourself, okay, so whatever the question is that you want to answer, again, to stay in a relationship, to change a career, to move across the country, now go to that place where you had that experience of the more difficult period of your life, and think to yourself again, does this decision better align with that part of me? And there's no judgment. We have no agenda. We're not placing value on either one. We're simply asking, what is the right decision for us right now? And then see, does it align there? And so a point of differentiation here and distinction is that difficult decisions, even if they're the right decisions for us, aren't always going to feel good. But what they might feel, and what I'll share some examples, are the difference you can tell between whether it feels bad because it's the right decision or feels bad because it's the wrong decision, is to really differentiate within you. Okay, it might feel uncomfortable and it might be scary, but do I feel a sense of expansion? Does it feel more light and energetic, even though it might feel scary and I might be nervous? Or does it make me nervous and it feels scary and it actually feels really heavy and it feels dark? And so that's how you can help decide, because a couple of examples from my life, when I remember making a decision to leave a relationship, and it didn't feel good to leave the relationship at all. I loved this person very much and cared about them. But when I thought about staying with them, it felt heavy and dark, and I knew it wasn't the best for him. It wasn't the best for me. When I thought about leaving, yes, it felt scary, but I also felt just a slight bit of expansion of what might be possible for both of us if I left the relationship, even though I was, there's a part of me that was heartbroken of having to leave the relationship. So it might not feel good, but really getting distinct with yourself to differentiate, is it allowing me to expand, or do I feel constriction? Another example, I was living in Costa Rica with a woman, and I was deciding if I should leave and find my own place to live, or I should stay with her. And I was really wrestling with this because, of course, I'm living in a country that's not my own. I'm not familiar with all the ways of living and what would be better and what wouldn't be better. And I wrestled with this for maybe like a week or two. I didn't feel good about having to leave the situation because I had committed to living with this woman for a couple months. But the more I really tuned in, I really connected with living in that situation was really heavy and constrictive. And it wasn't leading to my expansion, even though it was difficult to leave and it would cause conflict, which I don't enjoy. I knew it was best for me in that moment to leave because I knew I wanted an opportunity to expand versus live in a place that felt heavy and dark. So we'd love to hear your comments, your feedback, how this has resonated with you. We'd love to hear you after you use this to see what comes up for you, because this is really, really valuable. We all make really difficult decisions, and sometimes we're not quite sure. And what this helps you do, which is the best part of this, is it helps you make the decision, because often we analyze and stress and get overwhelmed and we don't take the action. We don't make the decision, which makes it worse and makes it even harder to decide what's right for us. And so for this tool, it's to go through and see where it resonates in your body. Is it leading to expansion, even though it might be scary and uncomfortable? Is it leading to constriction and contraction and maybe feels heavy? And then to take action, to make the decision. And then after you make the decision, that's when you can start to evaluate and adjust if you need to see, well, okay, now what's the right next step? Now that I've made this decision, because at least you're making the decision. You're getting out of analysis and into action, which is key for growth and expansion, because we can stay in a space of analyzing and never moving forward, which keeps us in a place where we don't trust ourselves. And really, we're in a place, and we maybe have always been in this place, but I feel like more so I'm noticing now that there's a real yearning for learning to trust ourselves and to know we can be comfortable with what decisions we make and who we choose to be, and that no matter who we're with, whether they have completely contrasting opinions, we can feel comfortable with our own opinions and what we believe and not feel attacked or feel the need to defend or feel the need to hide, and really being able to be comfortable in our own skin, no matter where we are, what we do. And once we have that, of course, decisions become easier, because how can you make a decision if you don't know who you are? You don't know what you value. You don't know what's important to you. You're not connected to what you love and what you want your life to look like, because maybe there's been a place where you've been living out of a place of seeking approval and acceptance and kind of following this path of someone else's life instead of your own. So my wish for you is that you will use this tool, start to come in more connection with yourself, your spirit, what's right for you, and know that you have everything you need to make the right decision. You don't need more information. You have it all within you. And if you're in a place where you would like some guidance and really connecting deeper to your intuition to guide you into making the right decisions, you can reach out to me and book a power hour. So it's a tuning into soul session, which really will help you start to move into a place where you are taking action consistently that is aligned with your highest good, and having tools at your ready whenever you're coming up against any sort of difficulties or triggers, or noticing those old patterns start to resurface. So I will put a link in the comments. I'd love to connect with you in that way as well. And thank you for being here, and I'll see you all soon.